Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter number 3 from the book Snapshot. And the name of the chapter is Ranga's Marriage. And as the title is suggesting us, that this story is about Ranga, who is going to be the central character. And about this Ranga, what we are going to read, this is going to be an event of his marriage. How he got married, what kind of different circumstances were created by narrator in the story. This is all written in Ranga's Marriage, and this is written here by Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. So I am going to read the chapter for you. Now, what is written about the narrator, about the story? Ranga, the accountant's son, is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. What is the meaning of pursue? Pursue here means to continue or to follow. So, Ranga belonged to a place called Hosahalli in southern India near Mysore, and he was the accountant's son, and he was one of the rare breed. Why rare breed? Because he was the one who had got the chance to go out for education, because before him nobody had got the same chance. Nobody had gone out of the village to study abroad, but he was the not to study abroad but to some other place. So he was the rare breed. He was really unusual. He was really a type of person among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. So he was the first one from his village who got the chance to go out of the town, out of the village, and got his education in some other place. When he returns to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowds mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? Means, when he returned to his village after getting education, after some months, he came back from the city of Bangalore, because he had gone to Bangalore to pursue his studies. But after some months, he came back. The crowds mill around. What is the meaning of mill around here? Means the crowd actually move around. A lot of people gathered, they got collected around his house. Why? To see whether he has changed or not, because the people wanted to know, they wanted to check whether there was some change in the character, in the physique of Ranga or not. His ideas about marriage and now are now quite different, or are they? Means we also are going to check whether his idea about marriage was changed, or was it not got a change. Means was he really had got modern thoughts about marrying, or was he the same Ranga who had gone out of the village to pursue his studies? Now I am going to read this chapter from the very first line. When you see this title, some of you may ask, Ranga's marriage? Why not Ranga Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijay? Well, yes, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannath Vijay or Girij Kalyana. But then it is not about Jagannath's victory or Girija's wedding. It is about our own Ranga's marriage, and hence no fancy title. No fancy title here means, according to the narrator, according to the writer, he could have given a lot different, a more beautiful title to this story. But why he actually had titled this story as Ranga's Marriage? Because this story is about the protagonist, about the central character, about an incident of Ranga's marriage. So there was no better title to be given to this story, and that is why he had not given any fancy title. Fancy means he was not ready to give any kind of decorative, more beautiful title could not be given, because the most apt, the most suitable title for this story was Ranga's Marriage. Hosahalli is our village. You must have heard of it. Now, the narrator is telling us that his village was Hosahalli, and maybe the readers would have heard it. You must have heard of it. No, what a pity, but it is not your fault. There is no mention of it in any geography book. Then he is asking the readers whether they had heard this Hosahalli village, the name of the village or not. And then he says that okay, if they have not heard it, but he was actually feeling sorry for us because it was not our fault. But he says there is no mention because it is this village is not mentioned in any geography book, so it was not our fault if we have not heard about the name Hosahalli. Those sahibs in England writing in English probably do not know that such a place exists, and so make no mention of it. Means this is really, you can say, not a mistake done by anybody, but because some Britishers, they have written so many English books, so many stories, but this name is never mentioned. Hosahalli is never mentioned in any book. Why? Because the English people, they actually had no knowledge about such a place. They did not know anything about such a place. Our own people too forget it. Not only the Britishers, but the other people, the natives of India, the natives of Hosahalli, they also have forgotten about this beautiful place. You know how it is? They are like a flock of sheep. Means the people are like flock. According to the narrator, the people of India are like a flock of sheep. Means they actually follow others. If a goat is going into a ditch, the other goats would also follow it anywhere. So we human beings are like the same. One sheep walks into a pit, the rest blindly follow it. When both the sahibs in England and our own geographers have not referred to it, when our own people, own geographers, they have not mentioned this Hosahalli place anywhere, you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember to put it on the map. So how can this be put on? How can this is to be shown on a map? Because our own people, they have forgotten about Hosahalli as such a beautiful place. So we cannot expect this to happen mistakenly by cartographer. How can a cartographer, how could he remember about such a place? Because it was never mentioned by our own people. And so there is not even the shadow of our village on our map. So that is why their village Hosahalli was not to be seen, was not mentioned, was not described on any map. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another direction. No, this narrator is very humble, and he was asking sorry. He's asking sorry for, you can say, getting away from the main topic, because he actually was required. The needful thing is that he should tell something about Ranga's marriage, but he starts telling us something about Ranga's village, and he is not telling anything about Ranga's marriage. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha what the sweet Karigadabu is to festival meal, then Hosahalli is to Mysore state what the filling is to the Karigadabu. Now this is very important. According to the narrator, he says, if the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha, means what was the meaning? How important is the Mysore state for our Bharatvarsh, for our India? What the sweet? In the same way, for Karigadabu is actually a South Indian dish in which we are going to put some coconut and sugar. It would be filled with coconut and sugar. So an Indian, South Indian dish, this Karigadabu, is very important for a festival. As a festival meal, it has its significance. In the same way, Mysore has its importance for Bharat or India. In the same way, their Hosahalli village is very important for Mysore state. Like Karigadabu was, you can say, important for a festival, and for Karigadabu the filling was very important. In the same way, their village Hosahalli was important for Mysore. What I have said is absolutely true, believe me. I'll not object to you questioning it, but I will stick to my opinion. I am not only one who speaks glowingly of Hosa Ali. He says that he was not speaking glowingly, means all these things which he has said, they were not exaggerations. He was not speaking anything, you can say, which was not true. He was not speaking a lie. What we have a doctor in our place. His name is Gunda Bhatta. He agrees with me. Means even when he had a chat with a doctor who belonged to their own place, his name was Gunda Bhatta. He agrees with me. He has been a quite a few places, means he had visited so many places around the world. No, not England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says, no, Annaya, means no, bhaiya, no, sir. I have left that to you. Running around like a flea pestered dog is not for me. I have seen a few places in my time, though, as a matter of fact, he has seen many. Now, this is again what he is actually trying to tell us, that some people from his own native village, like Gunda Bhatta, who was a doctor and who had seen so many places, they also were convinced. They also were having the same idea that their place, Hosahalli, was the best place in the world. And even though they had gone to different places throughout the world, they were never convinced that any place was better than their village, Hosahalli. And if somebody would ask them whether they had gone to England, they would say that it is not important whether they had gone to England or not, because their place would be better than any place in the world. And then he says, running like a flea pestered dog, means it is not important, it is meaningless to go from one place to another and visit different places. It is not for the people like doctor or for the people like the narrator. I have seen a few places in my time, though. As a matter of fact, he has seen many. Means even though the doctor had seen so many places, but he never found a better place than Hosahalli, his native place. Next paragraph. We have some mango trees in our village. Come visit us and I'll give you a raw mango from one of them. Do not eat it, just take a bite. The sourness is sure to go straight to your Brahma Randhra. Now, again, the poet is telling us, you can say, some specialities, some of the basic characteristics of his village, and some specialities of his village. Like, he says that his countryside, his village was the best place in the world. Now he's telling us that the raw mangoes which are found in his village on the trees, they were the best in the world, because the sourness is sure to go straight, and you don't need to eat it raw completely. You just have to take a bite, and after taking a bite you would find that till your Brahmarandra here means to the, you can say, the inner skull bones where they joins later, till that point you will get that sourness means khattapan. So you are going to taste these kind of sour mangoes only in his village, because the mangoes of his village are best in the world, and they are so sour that you would get touched till your Brahmarandra would not be impacted. I once took one such fruit home and chutney was made out of it. He's telling us that some of the raw mangoes were taken by him and he had made some chutney or some sauce like thing out of it, and all of us ate it. The cough we suffered from, and after eating even a small bite from that chutney, they suffered cough. Why? Because of the sourness. It was when I went for the cough medicine that the doctor told me about the special quality of the fruit. But when he went to the doctor and asked him that he wanted some medicine for the cough, so the doctor told him that what kind of special quality those fruits had got, that those raw mangoes, they were really special and they have a great characteristic and they were really special. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around our village. We have a creeper. Now he's telling a lot of things, that they had the best mangoes, they have the sourest mangoes in the world, and so there were so many different things also which were really special, which were extraordinary, and they are not to be found anywhere in the world. They had a creeper also. Creeper means a climbing plant growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. In the village pond, they find some creeper. Its flowers are a feast to behold. Means the flowers which are going to grow on these creepers, they are a feast to behold. Feast to behold means they are lovely to be seen. They are beautifully seen. They are having a, you can say, such a beauty that you cannot really put your eyes away from those. Get 2 leaves from the creeper when you go to the pond for your bath, and you will have not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meals. Means then get 2 leaves from the creeper. The creeper's leaves, they are so big, so huge, that if you would take 2 or 1 leaves, you don't have to worry about your plates, because when you even you can say meals can be served on these huge leaves. They are so huge, so large, that you can serve meals, you can have your food by serving on those leaves. They are so big, so huge. You will say, I am rambling. Now this word is very important. Rambling here means straying away from the main point, means to move from the main point. He says that you will say, maybe he would be there would be a complaint that would be, you can say, put on. He would be blamed that he was rambling. Rambling means he was straying away from the main story, because he has not told anything about Ranga's marriage yet. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up. But enough means he says that he was feeling sorry because he could not control himself. He has told us a lot of things about his village, but he actually wanted to come to the point and he wanted to tell us something about Ranga's marriage, but he could not control his wish or desire to tell us something about his village. But enough now. If any one of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. Means if anybody was interested in knowing something about his village, just drop me a line here. Means give him a small letter. Write a letter to him, a very short, concise letter. I will let you know where Hosahalli is and what things are like there. And the narrator will tell us what kind of things are found and where Hosahalli was located. The best way of getting to know a place is to visit it. Don't you agree? And he is asking us to visit. He is urging us to visit that place if we wanted to know something more about it. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. We did not have many people who knew English then. Now, from this point, he has started writing the chapter now. From this point, he is trying to tell us clearly, without straying away, without rambling from the main point. He started telling us he is narrating the story of Ranga's marriage. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. Means 10 years ago, when this chapter was written or when it was narrated, 10 years ago from that, we did not have many people who knew English. At that time, 10 years ago, there were not many people who were, you can say, speaking English language, who were using English in their day-to-day life. Our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. And their village accountant's son was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore. Means accountant was the first one who had got the courage and who extraordinarily had sent his son to Bangalore to study. And his son was the first one to be sent to Bangalore for further studies. It is different now. There are many who know English, but now there are so many people who have got education and who know English and English words. But 10 years ago, there were very few people who knew English and who could make use of English words in their day-to-day life. During the holidays, you come across them on every street talking in English. Those days, we did not speak in English, but 10 years ago, very few people could speak English and nobody was using English words in their day to day language. Nor did we bring in English words while talking. And at that time, very few people were speaking English, and the people generally they were not using the English words in their native languages. In Kannada, nobody was using English words as we use English in Hindi today. We actually speak Hindi, but we are generally using English words in it. But at that time, nobody was using English words in Kannada. What has happened is disgraceful, believe me. Now, this is very important because according to the writer, according to the narrator, the use of English words in our native languages, in Kannada, in Tamil, in Punjabi, in Hindi, this is disgraceful. Disgraceful means this is unacceptable or this is very bad. This is a terrible experience for the narrator because he felt very bad when the people they started using English words in their own native languages. Believe me, the other day I was in Ramarao's house. He had gone to his friend's house, Ramarao, and when they bought a bundle of firewood, Ramarao's son came out to pay for it. Means the narrator had visited Ramarao's house, and when he was inside the house, Ramarao's son had gone out to pay for the bundle of firewood that they had bought from somebody. He asked the woman. Now, Ramarao's son went to that woman who had, you can say, sold a bundle of firewood to them. He said, "How much should I give you?" 4 pice. He said. She said. Means this was asked by the Ramarao's son that how much he need to pay for that bundle of firewood, and the reply was given by the lady, by an old woman, and the old woman replied 4 paise. She said the boy told her he did not have any change. Now this is very important. The small kid, the small boy, Ramarao's son, he made use of an English word in Kannada language, and the word was change. And he told the lady that he did not have any change. Means he did not have that loose money, and asked her to come the next morning. The poor woman did not understand. The woman could not understand what was the meaning of change because she did not know what was the meaning of change. She did not have heard this word before because till that point the people they were not using English words in their native languages. The English word change and went away muttering to herself. Muttering means she started speaking to herself in a low voice, and she was pretty confused and perplexed, but she went away because she could not understand what was the meaning of change. I too did not know. Later, when I went to Ranga's house and asked him, I understood what it meant. Then, not only that lady was really confused, the narrator was also not able to understand what was the meaning of change. So he also went back and he also wanted to know what was the meaning of the change. He went to Ranga's house and asked him, and he asked somebody, I understood what it meant. Then he actually understood when he was told that what was the meaning of change. He was also confused like that lady. It means that at that point of time, the people of Hosahalli or the South Indian people, they were not using English language in their day-to-day life, in their native languages, and they really were unaware of the meanings also. This priceless commodity, now this is again very important, priceless commodity. Here he is actually calling English language as a priceless commodity because today we are proud, because today we actually are proud that we know English. When we use English language, we feel proud. But this is actually terrible. This is really, you can say, unacceptable for the people like narrator. They feel very bad when we people are not, you can say, giving any regard to our own languages, and by using others languages we feel proud. But according to the narrator, this is really shameful, this is really disgraceful for us. So he says the priceless commodity, the English language, was not so widespread at that time. The people were not using it, was not widespread in our village a decade ago. What is the meaning of decade? Decade means a group of 10 years. So 10 years ago, nobody was using English language. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. That was why when Ranga came back from the city after getting education, it was a great event for the people, because nobody had gone to out of the village to learn, to educate himself before Ranga. Ranga was the first one to get this kind of opportunity. People rushed to his doorstep announcing, the accountant's son has come. Now, the people, they started rushing, they started going to the accountant's house. Why? Because, and everybody was telling the other that Ranga had come, the accountant's son had come, and everybody started, you can say, running towards his house, because they wanted to notice something, they wanted to see what kind of changes were to be seen in the character of this man, this boy. The boy who had gone to Bangalore for his studies is here, it seems. And come, Ranga is here. Let's go and have a look. Now everybody was really keen and eager to see this boy, because he had come back from Bangalore. Attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood in the courtyard and asked, why have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here. Now, because a lot of people, a huge crowd gathered and collected around his house, the narrator too went. He also had gone and stood in the courtyard and asked why all these people had come. Now he asked the people that why all these people had come, and there was no performing monkey there. It was not a big event. Why the people, they were disturbing him, or why they had come to see him? A boy, a fellow without any brains, said loud enough for everyone to hear, what are you doing here then? Now this shows that the young generation, the youngsters, the kids, they were becoming really insolent, they were really becoming rude when they spoke to their elders. And even though this man, the narrator, was really, you can say, elder to him, but this boy, without thinking, he actually rebuked or scolded the narrator only. And he said what he was doing there then, a youngster, immature and without any manners. Now this is very important, that the narrator wanted to tell us that the youngsters, they had become immature and they were not having any manners also. Thinking all that these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. And the narrator kept himself quiet because he understood that maybe the new generation had lost the mannerism. And that is why he kept himself quiet. He did not say anything. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call black hole in Calcutta. Now, because it was not possible for all the people to go inside, because there was a huge crowd and all these people could not be accommodated, they could not go inside Ranga's house, so Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Thank God it did not. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago, but they were really, you can say, surprised. They were really feeling very bad. They were really expecting something new to be seen, but when they saw that Ranga was the same, he was the same as he had been 6 months ago, because the people, they expected a lot of things. They thought that Ranga would have got a great change in him, but when Ranga came out and gave a smile to people, the people were really not, you can say, happy, because they found nothing new in Ranga. He was the same as he had been 6 months ago when he had first left the village. An old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes, and said, "Now." An old lady went near Ranga. She touched his chest. Why? Because she was trying to check whether the Janeu, the Janevra, that holy thread that generally the Brahmins or the South Indians they tie around their chest, was it there or not. So she went there, she looked into his eyes, and she touched the chest. The Janevra is still there, and she announced that the Janeu, that holy thread, was still to be found there, and he has not lost his caste. Means he was still following the same caste, still have the same belief, holy faith in their religion. She went away. Soon after that, Ranga laughed. But Ranga started laughing because he was not able to understand why that lady had come. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hands, legs, eyes, and nose, the crowd melted away. What is the meaning of melted away? Because the people, they could not find anything new in Ranga. He was the same, his physical features were the same. They were really surprised, and they really got, you can say, disappointed, and they went away. They melted away, means they disappeared. Like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. Like we put some sugar in the mouth and it would get melted on the tongue. In the same way, these people also got, you can say, disappeared. I continued to stand there, but the narrator, he stood there. After everyone had gone, but narrator stood there. He was, you can say, waiting for something. How are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you? And he started speaking to Ranga, and he asked, how was Ranga, and was everything well with him? It was only then that Ranga noticed me. He came near me and did a namaskar respectfully, saying, "I am all right with your blessings." And at last they had a chat, and Ranga told him, and he was showing a lot of respect. With a lot of respect, Ranga said that he was all right with all the blessings given by his elders. I hope you would have got some idea about the chapter till now. Tomorrow, in the next class, we will continue from the same page. Till then, have a nice day. Stay back home. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Goodbye.